Your mind does not race because it is broken. It races because it is powerful, layered, and designed to calculate consequences faster than the world prefers to admit. They called it overthinking. They said you worry too much. They told you to calm down, slow down, stop asking questions. What they really meant was stop seeing what they cannot. There is a memory from childhood, a desk by the window, rain tapping glass. The lesson ended, yet your mind kept moving, connecting ideas, imagining outcomes, predicting reactions. Others packed bags. You stayed still, eyes distant, already 10 steps ahead. That moment branded you. Overthinking became the flaw they used to explain you. Teachers sighed, managers doubted, friends joked. You learned to shrink your thoughts to survive rooms that feared depth. Inside, storms never stopped. You replayed conversations, you mapped futures, you sensed danger early, then guilt arrived. Why can others decide so fast? Why does my mind never rest? You decided something must be wrong. There was a silent night when exhaustion finally won. You lay awake anyway. Thoughts collided like steel in a forge. Every choice split into branches. You begged for quiet. Quiet never came. That was not anxiety. That was intelligence without training. ADHD overthinking is not random noise. It is pattern recognition firing without limits. Your mind scans threats, opportunities, meanings, and emotional shifts simultaneously. That speed looks like chaos to linear thinkers. Underestimation cut deepest when you were right too early. You warned them. You sensed collapse. You advised caution. They dismissed you. Later, failure arrived wearing your words. Being right before permission hurts. There is a memory of a broken room. Raised voices. Blame everywhere. You stood silent, knowing exactly how it would end. Nobody asked how you knew. They only noticed afterward. You learned silence. You stopped trusting your insight. You rushed decisions to appear normal. You ignored the weight in your chest that warned you. That self-betrayal hurt more than being ignored. Overthinking turned inward. Shame cycles formed. Why am I like this? Why can I not stop? Why am I too much and still not enough? The psychological break came quietly. Burnout. Numbness. Emotional shutdown. Your mind went dark not because it healed, but because it overloaded. That emptiness terrified you. In the quiet, a realization emerged. What if overthinking was never the enemy? What if the enemy was never being taught how to aim it? This is where rebuilding begins. The first strategy is reframe. You stop calling your mind defective. You name the truth. You think deeply because your brain connects systems, emotions, and futures at speed. You are not broken. You are not lazy. You were built different. There is a flashback of trusting your overthinking once. You waited. You checked details. You adjusted timing. The outcome improved quietly. Nobody praised you. Results spoke anyway. The second strategy is containment. You give your thoughts borders, lists, timers, pages. You stop carrying everything internally. External structure frees internal power. There is a scene of writing until the noise slowed, ink moving, breath steadying, sleep finally arriving. That was discipline, not suppression. The third strategy is direction. You decide what deserves depth. Not every thought earns energy. Values choose focus, not urgency. There is a lonely walk after a hard choice. Cold air, streetlights, thoughts aligning instead of fighting. Clarity arrived because you stopped rushing it. Overthinking begins to sharpen. Patterns emerge sooner. Intuition stabilizes. Creativity gains weight. You see around corners without panic. Comparison fades slowly. You stop wishing you were faster. Speed often hides shallow thinking. Depth builds durable outcomes. Storm imagery shifts. Your mind is no longer a hurricane tearing itself apart. It becomes an ocean. Deep, powerful, governed by tides. You still think more than others. The difference is control. This is only the first truth. Overthinking was never low intelligence. It was high intelligence misread. They punished depth because it exposed them. Your questions slowed shortcuts. Your pauses threatened reckless confidence, so they mislabeled intelligence as anxiety. There is a vision of burning bridges behind you, not from anger, but from clarity. You learned which rooms could not hold your mind. A cracked crown appears in memory, authority you never claimed because you were busy explaining yourself. That crown waits. Rising storms taught you patience. You learned to stand still while others rushed. Knives of judgment missed because you did not chase approval. This part ends with tension held, not released. The rebuild will demand discipline next. Silence sharpened into strategy. Overthinking aimed like a blade. You feel it coming. Something is about to shift. Remember the lonely walk under streetlights when ideas finally aligned. That moment was proof. Depth obeys structure. Intelligence answers discipline. The storm listens when commanded. This is only part one. The pressure will rise. Control will be tested. What you carry will be forged. Stay with the weight. Do not escape it. Depth becomes destiny when honored. The mind sharpens in darkness. Fire learns shape inside steel. You are still in the forge. Listen closely. The next phase will teach command. Nothing has been wasted. Not one thought. Your story was misread. The correction begins. Hold steady. The ocean is learning your name. Depth waits for command. Pressure builds. Focus tightens. This is not the end. It is alignment beginning. Stand ready. Your intelligence is waking. Misread no longer. The forge burns on. Strength forms quietly. Wait. Trust the process. More will come. Stay present. The deep mind endures. Silence strengthens. Focus gathers. Prepare. The next truth approaches. Hold the line. Depth remains. Intelligence stands. Endure. Stillness wins. Watch carefully. Next comes control. Do not blink. Stay. Ready. Now. Control arrives quietly, not as dominance, but as alignment between thought and intention. Your mind still generates volume, but now it answers to structure. The storm listens. There is a memory of sitting alone at a table, papers spread, thoughts racing less chaotically than before. You notice something new. The noise had shape, patterns repeated, themes returned. This was not madness. This was data. The first refinement of control is sorting. You stop treating every thought as urgent. You separate signal from static. Some ideas want action. Some want incubation. Some want to be discarded. This is discipline, not denial. There is a flashback of a silent night where you once spiraled until dawn. This time, you wrote 3 lines, closed the notebook, and slept. That small act changed everything. The second refinement is timing. You learn that intelligence rushed becomes confusion. Intelligence paced becomes authority. You allow your mind to finish before you speak. There is a memory of holding back insight during a heated discussion. Others rushed. You waited. When clarity arrived, your words landed with weight. The room shifted. That pause was power. Overthinking transforms when you stop fighting it and start scheduling it. You create thinking windows. You protect rest. You stop letting your mind ambush you at night. Time blindness still exists. You design around it. External reminders hold what memory drops. Systems replace guilt. There is a lonely walk you remember after choosing structure over impulse. Night air cooled your thoughts. Streetlights marked progress. For the first time, your mind felt cooperative. Underestimation continues. People still mistake your silence for uncertainty. You allow it. Assumptions create cover. You move without resistance. The third refinement is trust calibration. You learn the difference between fear loops and foresight loops. Fear feels frantic and repetitive. Foresight feels calm and heavy. There is a moment you recall clearly. Everyone pushed forward. You felt unease without panic. You waited. The flaw revealed itself exactly where you sensed it. That was not anxiety. That was intelligence. Burnout decreases because you intervene earlier. You notice overload signals, tight chest, shallow breath, racing narratives. You step back before collapse. There is a scene of leaving a situation early, guilt rising, relief following. Nothing broke. Your energy returned. That was control. Your creativity sharpens. Ideas stop colliding randomly and begin stacking logically. You connect distant concepts. Solutions emerge that feel inevitable. There is a childhood flashback of building something alone for hours, losing time completely, hyper-focus locked in. That depth never disappeared. It only lacked direction. Comparison fades further. You stop measuring yourself against faster deciders. You realize speed often sacrifices accuracy. Depth trades speed for durability. Your emotional intensity no longer hijacks thought. You feel emotion, name it, then return to analysis. Separation creates clarity. There is a memory of a broken room after conflict. In the past, you replayed endlessly. Now you reviewed once, extracted lesson, and moved on. Energy conserved. Storm imagery shifts again. Lightning still flashes, but it illuminates. Thunder warns. Rain clears. The storm serves you now. You stop apologizing for needing time. You stop rushing conclusions to satisfy others. You trust your process. You are not broken. You are not lazy. You were built different. Different enough to see layers others miss. Strong enough to hold complexity. Wise enough to wait for alignment. Overthinking becomes a tool. It predicts outcomes, prevents mistakes, creates original work. It becomes leverage. There is a memory of letting an opportunity pass because timing felt wrong. Another appeared later, cleaner, stronger. That patience paid off. Your mind feels heavier now, anchored, less frantic, more deliberate. The noise reduced, not because thinking stopped, but because it found lanes. This phase is not about elimination. It is about ownership. You stop asking your mind to be quieter. You ask it to be accurate. And accuracy changes everything. Because once your thoughts obey structure, they stop attacking you. They start building. Stay here. The final phase will demand application. Power unused fades. Power aimed reshapes reality. You have learned control. Now you must learn command. Wait. Do not rush. The next step requires precision. Hold steady. Depth is listening. End. Command does not announce itself. It settles. It becomes the quiet certainty that your mind works for you now, not against you. Overthinking no longer drags you through possibility. It places you above it. This is where intelligence stops defending itself and starts directing outcomes. Your thoughts still move fast. They still branch. The difference is authority. You decide which paths matter. You allow the rest to fade without guilt. There is a vision now. You standing alone before a wide horizon at dawn. The noise behind you fades. The road ahead is clear because you chose it deliberately. That choice is command. Your overthinking becomes strategy. You anticipate reactions before they happen. You predict failure points before structures crack. You adjust early while others remain confident and blind. There was a time you hid this ability. You softened your insight to avoid tension. You stayed quiet to avoid judgment. That restraint was survival. This restraint is mastery. There is a memory of a cracked crown you once refused to wear. You believed leadership belonged to louder minds. That crown reforges now. Balanced, heavy, earned. It fits because you earned it through restraint. You stop explaining how you know. Explanation drains power. You let timing speak. You let results speak. You let calm speak. Your presence changes environments. Conversations slow. Decisions stabilize. People feel oriented without instruction. Some feel exposed. Some feel safe. Both reactions reveal truth instantly. There is a flashback of sensing collapse long before it arrived. Others dismissed you. You prepared quietly. When failure came, you were already positioned elsewhere. That was not luck. That was command. Time blindness still exists. You respect it now. You design buffers. You protect recovery. You stop confusing exhaustion with effort. There is a lonely walk you remember after choosing rest instead of pushing through. Night air, steady breath, thoughts aligned. That walk preserved your edge. Your emotional intensity becomes fuel instead of friction. You feel deeply without drowning. You care without carrying. You observe without absorbing. You stop reacting to every thought. You stop suppressing them too. You integrate. This balance is rare. You are not broken. You are not lazy. You were built different. Different enough to see layers others ignore. Strong enough to hold complexity. Wise enough to wait until alignment arrives. Overthinking becomes foresight when trained. It becomes vision when respected. It becomes leadership when disciplined. There is a final memory, a quiet moment after choosing patience instead of urgency. The outcome improved. You smiled alone. That was mastery. Storm imagery shifts one last time. Fire burns clean. Steel holds edge. Shadows obey light. The forge is silent because the blade is finished. Your mind no longer needs to prove itself. It operates. It directs. It builds. Winning for you will never look rushed. It will look inevitable. Protect this depth. Train it. Aim it. This was never about fixing yourself. It was about claiming what was misread. Subscribe to continue sharpening this edge.